So, an emotional couple say they were left physically shaking after winning a 2.5 million euro clifftop mansion in a raffle, which is about $3 million. So, Jade and her partner, who wishes to remain anonymous, even though you can see their face, bagged a beachfront home on the Kent coast in a charity prize draw. The couple being shown around their house for the first time. So, the home on the Kent coast offers unparalleled 180-degree views overlooking the beach below. And by the way, we're talking about this because, like they won basically $3 million plus probably like a little bit of cash, but it's not really that great when you really think about it. So the lucky pair also won a 50,000 euro cash prize to help furnish the 9,000 square foot property they now own, which technically means this isn't really a mansion because mansion should actually be 10,000 square feet plus. So the couple, who are from the Midlands, told Kent Online the win has changed their lives, Jade said. It's beyond our wildest dreams. There will never be quite enough words to describe how this whole experience has felt to me and my family. I can't believe it. I'm actually physically shaking because it's unbelievable. The picture perfect home offers unparalleled 180-degree views overlooking the beach below, and on a clear day, you can see France. The home can also be accessed by a glass lift, which leads up from the cliffs and comes fully equipped with the latest gadgets and technology throughout. Inside the amazing property, there are four bedrooms, one of which has its own lounge area, and a spa like bathroom. The grand prize was the latest offering from the Omaze £1 million house draw in the UK, which recently saw a family of three win a $3 million home in Cornwall and a granny win a 3.5 million home in the Cotswolds. Now here's the thing, think about that, right? So they won 2.5 million euros, right? Plus 50,000 euros to help furnish it. Do you think that they could possibly even afford the running cost of this property at all? No, they can't, right? And this is something that people need to understand. Anytime any individual wins a super amazing prize like this, the reality is that they're going to have to sell the prize so that they can pay taxes, expenses, blah, 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 and they should probably come out with like a little bit less than half of everything that they've made. So let's just say that they like won $3 million in total. After everything's said and done, reality, they might make or actually like have like 1.5 million, 1.6 million in the bank account after everything's said and done, free and clear. The problem is if people don't realize that, if they don't realize that this is actually going to cost a lot of money to run, they could go like months without actually realizing the true cost of running a property like this or having the up cost or upkeep cost of some of these prizes that people win. Because basically, this is the equivalent of a person winning like $3 million in a lottery, but taking the lump sum. So in the UK, the tax rules for like prizes like this might be different than the United States because typically prize winnings like from like the lottery get taxed very heavily in the states. In the UK, in Australia, I think also in Canada, they might be all tax free, possibly, but still, there's still going to be fees in selling the property. There's still going to be fees in having to deal with all this nonsense. Like this is like a cool moment, cool social media moment and all that kind of stuff. But the reality is you're not actually winning the $3 million. you're more likely winning like 1.5. That's still not really anything bad, right? There's nothing wrong with winning like 1.5 and having that basically in your bank account. It's just not an honest representation of what people actually won. And this is the problem that a lot of people end up having because let's use the lottery as an example. A lot of people who win the lottery think that the prize amount that they basically won is what they're going to get, or the lump sum that they're going to get is actually the true amount of money that they're going to have. So, for example, let's say in the United States you won a $1 million scratch off lottery ticket. Jackpot prize $1 million. You could choose the annuity of like 20 years at like, I don't know, like 20,000, 40,000, whatever. Or you could choose the like 690,000 lump sum. A lot of people are going to pick the lump sum. Okay, nothing wrong with that. But a lot of people don't even realize they got to pay taxes on the 690, federal tax and state tax, right? If you live in a state that doesn't have any taxes, any income tax at all, props to you. You basically skated off potentially anywhere from like 1 to like 10%, 15% off your winnings, right? So that's a pretty amazing thing if you live in either a low tax state or a tax free state. But then you have the money left over, and that money doesn't really go as far as you thought. And if you spent money like you had that lump sum amount, or if worse, you spent money as if you had the top prize of $1 million, or you made purchasing decisions based on you winning $1 million, you could face some really harsh financial times very quickly. This is how you have lottery winners within like the 5 years after winning the lottery, the majority of them end up losing everything and getting into debt on top of that. So you gotta be really careful with winning prizes like these. And that's basically any prize. Because like for example, if you were to win like a $20,000, $30,000 brand new car on like a TV show or game show or something, guess what? You're probably going to have to sell that car to pay the taxes on that car for that winnings because it's going to be viewed as like you just basically got like a paycheck of 20 grand straight into your bank account. That is what it's going to basically be viewed as. And the same thing could be said, and this is another thing that I kind of have a problem with this is the same thing could be said for basically the student loan forgiveness program that Joe Biden is trying to shove down everyone's throat, basically. Because that's basically like anyone who ends up getting accepted into it has just won like a lottery of like $10,000 or $20,000. You're going to have to pay taxes on that. Taxes that you were not expecting. And if you don't have the money, that's going to be an issue for you, right? So it's just something to really think about. That sometimes winning the lottery or lotteries or game shows isn't as rosy as it seems. It's still good, but not as great as it seems. Basically, you can see this as like two different things. You basically have the people who create these lotteries, these prizes, all that kind of stuff, painting a picture of like a cake that looks pristine, like a cake that just looks perfect. Nothing wrong with it. But the reality is it might be leaning or curved a little bit. Someone might have stuck their finger in it to take some icing. So it's not perfect. Still great, still a cake. You're still going to enjoy it when you eat it, but is not exactly what you were told was actually going to happen. It's basically like a white lie. Like, yeah, you won $3 million, but you gotta pay a bunch of taxes and you got a bunch of fees. And the upkeep cost of all this is going to be so expensive that you're going to have to sell the property or price. By the way, barely anyone really wants to buy this property, so you're going to have to sell it at like a really cheap price. So really, you're actually only going to bring in maybe 1.5, maybe even less than that after everything's said and done. So you're still a millionaire, but just not the type of millionaire that we said that you were going to be. It's like someone did something kind, but then talked bad about you behind your back. Like, it's just a really weird situation. I mean, feel free to give your thoughts. Here's the thing: if I won a prize like this, I would take it and then just sell it. Because this is basically the same equivalent of like someone going on to like a Mr. Beast game show video thing, winning $1 million or winning a private jet or something, and then just selling it, right? Like, because no matter what, no matter where you live, you gotta follow the tax laws of your country or the rules and all that kind of stuff. And it's just never what it seems like it's actually gonna be. If you want to learn how to get out of debt and master your money, go down below and learn how.